Hello, welcome back to another exciting episode of Life with Cynthia podcast. I am Cynthia. Today, we are going to be discussing the topic of the clause of addiction. Addiction is a thing that has been a trouble to the youth and even to everybody, every age these days. Children are addicted to cartoons, youth are addicted to a lot of things, adults the same things. And then we are here to talk about it and see if we can find a way to get out of addiction. And in the studio with me today, I have, I call him, or rather, we call him the prophet of fire, liquid fire. But discard everything I've said. Just pretend like I did say. But that's what we call him. So it's left to you to call him whatever you want to call him. I'll just let Mr. Amos introduce himself, and then we'll pick up from there.
Thank you for having me. I'm Amos Uchenna Chinedu. I always place the emphasis on Chinedu because when you go online, there are so many Amos Uchenna. So I like to introduce myself as a certified life coach and therapist from Olushela Larry Coaching Academy.
Wow.
And despite she calling me liquid fire or whatever, prophet or whatever,
Only me is allowed to call him that.
I am a son of God.
Yes.
So what I do, I basically help young men and women release themselves and live their best life.
Wow.
Thank you.
Very vast portfolio. I'm very sure if I tried to say it by myself, I probably would have fallen short of something. So again, thank you for being here. Let's just dive straight into it. We're talking about the clause of addiction. And I would like you to tell me what addiction means to you and why do you think people say there is a clause? Like, why do you think there's a clause attached to addiction?
So when it comes to addiction, it simply means when someone wants to stop doing something that is harmful to them, but they can't. That's the simplest way you can define addiction.
Okay.
The reason why they say it has a claw is because like claws tend to grip you. You don't easily leave. All right. So addiction like that, they hold on to people, they hurt them, they don't easily let go. So that's how addiction is. So that's why that name clause are trying to say the damage, the effect of it. So when we say clause of addiction, we're saying that the nature addiction holds on people.
Okay, and how do you think people get addicted? What are the things that leads to addiction? Could it be childhood trauma? Could it be societal pressure? Like, what do you think really is the main cause of addiction?
So different things cause addiction. And most times the addiction is not really the issue. Something will lead to addiction. Part of it could be peer pressure. So someone gets into his group, his colleagues, and everybody is smoking, but so that he doesn't feel less of
Left.
himself, he begins to pick up, okay, let me just try it. It feels good. He may cough. They will tell him, man up, man up, man up. Next thing, he's sipping. After a while, he gets to feel among. Then over time, the brain now has a rewiring to himself that, okay, this thing feels good. It makes me feel among. So he now start taking the cigarette. After he has left that circle of friends, because of the brain has already picked up, let me just continue the smoking. He now continues. After a while, he wants to stop, but he can't. You just have to continue because there's a release of certain kind of chemicals that rewards people.
Rewards.
Yes, it's a hormone that
Yes.
it's got some dopamine. Let me just use that word. But I don't want to go too vast. But that's what makes people they want to continue because there's a sense of reward. So if you look at that, the challenge really is not the smoking or trying to stop the smoking, but rather from initially you can see that this person did not have a good self-esteem.
Okay.
He didn't have a value system that he could stand by. So you're getting it. So that's what really caused that. So if we're going to solve that problem for that person, beyond just the stopping smoking, we want to work on his self-esteem.
Okay.
Some other person can go through a trauma. It could go through something that caused pain, injury, and something that they felt helpless. And in order to numb that pain, they get into lifestyles that they do not approve of. So, because that lifestyle, I'll give you for an example, a widow, after losing her husband, and now she's longing for that comfort of a man, she now goes around drinking, sleeping around, and she gets some form of solace. What happens is that after a while, she continues. Then she's stuck.
Addicted.
She's addicted to it. So that's the cycle. There are so many things. Even as a Christian, there's a time when people no longer live an authentic life, a life that is driven by purpose. They feel, okay, I've gone through all the cycles, all the activities. They feel empty. And there's a void in every human being that only God that feels that. And it's not just something you are learning, it's a life, it's an experience. So once you're not having that, you want to look for things. So people, every Friday night, there's this thing, they want to run to a club, and they know, most people know the things that are addicted to is wrong. All right, they know, but they just tell themselves, this is the only way I can feel good. So safe space, whatever you call it. All right, this is how some people are addicted to approvals. They're addicted. That's okay. I need to post on social media so people will see and all that. That they can't live. So anytime you cannot live without something, you might be addicted to that thing. You say, oh, I must take Coke. And even after hearing how it weakens your bones and all that, you see, because when you get the information, yes, you know it's bad, but you just find yourself, your hand is already going to pick up the Coke. So without you knowing, something has tampered with your will, something has tampered with, you know, you're not in control. So let me just stop there.
You don't stop there. Don't stop there. This is I was beginning to enjoy. Okay, it's fine. Let's just stop there. I would just like you to list things, common addictions. Truth is, a lot of people are addicted to things that they don't know they're addicted to. And I mean, if you ask them, they'll say, oh, but it's this thing. It's not an addiction, it's a way of life. So if you could just list relatable, common things that people are addicted to.
Wow, there are many things.
Just list some. So that by the time you're listening, so a lot of people will be catching their own, they'll be catching their sub, small.
There are many things. People can be addicted to drugs.
Okay.
Drugs doesn't only mean maybe the cocaine or the cannabis and all that. You can be addicted to paracetamol. You can be addicted to certain things that, or any little pain, you already know you are entering into self-medication. I have to take this. You can be addicted to, I've said that, approvals. You don't feel you're good enough before you make a decision. You have to consult people who you feel are better than you. Yes, as human beings, we are creatures, we are social creatures. So seeking acceptance is not the same as being addicted. Because we must interact. We must have community. But when you get to that point where without this, you can't move on. You can't say no to things and be okay with yourself that you said no, you made that decision. Where you're just all about people telling you, oh, you're good enough. That could be an addiction.
Wow. Okay.
You could be addicted to...
And let me help him. You can be addicted to
pornography,
masturbation.
All of them.
The addiction is plenty. Sexual additions.
The sexual
additions.
It's vast. It's vast. Sometimes, because we're going to get there are things that trigger you. There are things that trigger you. Some people just ordinarily smell. A scent can just make a guy remember his ex-girlfriend, and it's as if the brain is already kicking up. This is how we are going.
A scent.
Yes. A picture, a scent, different things can make you just, So what we are saying is that you are not in control of the cycle anymore. We're going to get there. You have a lot of triggers. You have a lot of things that make you just, until you have completed that act, you don't feel okay. And usually, most people that are addicted to things, they are carrying a lot of guilt, shame, you know. Some can be addicted to makeup that they're not comfortable with their how they look and all that unless there's a makeup.
Okay.
So what we're saying in essence is you need to start first of all become aware.
Yes, of
Is
your
this
addiction.
something that without it you don't feel you could do without? You can't do without it. You don't feel you're good enough. Start noting those stuff. Because when we talk addiction, people are only thinking about the extreme ones
Yes.
of sex and all that. Let me stop there.
Okay. So from a spiritual perspective, I would like to know why addiction is not just a thing, but like a bondage. Because we just see beyond, it's just addiction. I'm just addicted. Everyone is addicted. But then again, I think it's beyond that. It's that there should be like a spirit or something attached to addiction.
So yes, you're correct. Addictions don't just happen. All right. There's a luring. There's a luring. A spirit projects a temptation at you. You already know that this is wrong. But somehow, when you're vulnerable, you just yield to it. That first time you are yielding to it, you're not yet addicted. You just yielded to that. But then, when you yield to that thing, what happens is that it begins to create a desire. You begin to feel that, oh, this is good. It feels good. So you kickstart a cycle.
Wow.
Sometimes when people are stressed, if I take for example pornography, most people got into pornography when they had experienced either stress. Some people it's after they have done something major, they're very excited. You have to feel good. Some people when they get very angry, that as they get angry, in order to calm themselves down, they
Okay.
need something like that.
Wow.
So suddenly they're pulled. Let me just watch this. As they're watching it, they could still get out of that thing at that moment. But no, inside them, there are conversations going on. Just a little more. Just one more. Let me check this other one. Oh, this one is this type. Let me check more. As they're doing it, what they don't know is that they're feeding the soul, feeding a part of them till it gets full.
Rose.
When it gets full, then they want to experiment. Masturbation kicks in. So if they have an outlet, they go sleep around. So it's a bondage because one, you have it makes you lose your identity. You have a distorted identity. Before you know, after a while, people say, you know what, I'm an addict to this. I can't do without this. So they begin to identify themselves as this. Oh, this is just
It's just me.
it's just me. It's a bondage because they lose freedom, they're enslaved. They're not before you see somebody who used to very excited, free, enjoying himself in the presence of God, but suddenly the person is withdrawn, is now very suspicious, you know. It can also lead to despair. Despair is that cycle where you start from guilt, you're not trying to come out, you now fail again, you go again, the cycle repeats, then after a while you just tell yourself that there's no way out of this. That's why it's a bondage. You just feel that there is no way out. So the spirit that lures people begins to create mindsets, begins to create new identity in people. So it begins to put certain things in motion to be sure that you fulfill that mandate. It gives you a new job. That in a day, if you've not masturbated 3 times, it's as if that day is not complete.
3 times.
People do more. When you get addicted once, the next time it will want more. It will want more. That you took one cigarette the first time, After a while, you see that one cigarette is not okay. You want to take 3. You want to take 4. So that's why it's a bondage.
Wow. So is there how can we break free from this?
It's possible to break free. That's the first place. Usually, what happens with people who have addiction, I don't want to call them addicts because I will be giving a name tag. Because once you name something, um, it's difficult to come out of that thing.
Stays with them.
You stay with you. So people who have addiction, the first thing I tell them is that they themselves must want to come out of it. There must be an awareness. There must be. Because what happens over time is that people just want to come to maybe a pastor to just pray for them and the addiction will just go like that. No, no, it doesn't work that way because there was an involvement, there was a participation
Self.
with yourself. You have trained your mind, your emotion, your will to act in a certain way.
So now you need to untrain.
So there are things, this is where the therapy part comes into play.
Wow.
But the first thing we need to deal with the spirits that empower people or hold them bound.
Okay.
All right? That's, I don't want to go into details of,
Yeah.
but you go
For
to church
deliverance.
and for deliverance
Yes.
outrightly.
Okay.
Because such thing, you will see that your will, people could tell you that, yes, there are things you could start confessing. That's not where it starts from. Because you could confess things, but the spirit behind, you've not dealt with it. So you'll be saying something and, you get back to it. So people have learned the second part. They do step 2 before step 1. So always look at addiction, spirit, soul, body. So people only want to deal with the body. They don't want to deal with the spirit. In therapy, we say the mind and the body, they are one system. Whatever affects the mind affects the body. Whatever affects the body affects the mind. So people, if you work on the body, definitely you're working on the mind. You work on the mind, it's affecting the body too. But people want to start from there and don't want to deal with this thing. There is a spirit behind these things. There is no two way about it. There is a spirit behind it. You're just on your own. Suddenly, something comes on you. Oh, go and do this.
Okay.
You know that this is wrong. You so spend your money. You book ride. You are running to a man's house. You know. You have truth. These things happen.
Yes.
It happens. And it's until they finish consummating the act, then they will now cry and feel so bad and terrible and say, Jesus, I want to kill myself, all this kind of stuff.
If you save me from this one, I'll not do it again, Lord. I promise you.
So first thing, the person, does he want to be free?
Yes.
You need to be aware that you want to be free. Because why this is needed is until you own this whole thing, you will not want to go to the end of everything. You will want to stop by the way when you feel relief. Because definitely, once a demon is cast out of someone, the person will have some sense of relief. But that's just step 1. Many people only stop in that first step 1. They do not know that there is a void that you have created inside you that you now need to replace with something else. So the place where therapy is coming is to help you now identify what are your triggers. This part, because no 2 addicts are the same. 2 persons can be addicted to smoking cannabis, Igbo. 2 persons can be involved in it, and they are not, what triggered them are not the same. So in therapy, they get to find out. So there are questions, the things they ask you, they will take you back to the first time such thing occurred. So with that, they can now tell you, we can now create a kind of system, a kind of steps you can follow, because you need to own it. What people do is that when they get into such, they want to put it on the therapist, they want to put it on the coach. And that's where the problem is. So if you hear people who say, oh, therapy don't work, coaching don't work, it's because they have not yet decided they want to be free. So Beyond just that, there's a place of confession. There's a place of now working on your identity. Faith has a lot of things to do when it comes to, because every addiction affects your identity. So you want to regain that identity. In regaining it, you have to go back to God. No pastor, no teacher, no prayer can give you that identity except God and His Word. So we get back to that. Then there's what we call affirmations. People call it confessions. But the reason why I call it affirmations is because in confessions, you can be saying things you don't mean.
True.
You can be saying things you don't mean. There was a time in this country where there were popular affirmations. I don't think failure is not an option. Those stuffs. It doesn't work in my system. What a person is doing, he's psyching himself, he's putting a new orientation, he's giving himself a new worldview. So when people now go into God's word and find out several promises God has said, He said, I'm complete in Christ. Like right now, as I'm sitting here, complete, nothing missing, nothing broken. I call that contemplative meditation, where just based on a line or the implication of it, you are saying it and you are using that word I. You're using it because you want to create a new energy into your system. Now, does it mean that while you're doing this, you might not fall into that? No. That's where accountability comes into play. When someone is with you on this journey and you want to be free,
You need to be accountable to the person.
you want to be free, you now know that it's a gift for someone to want to follow you on the
Work with
journey.
you, yes.
Not like the person is now a monitoring spirit to you, and if you see him, you abscond, you dodge, and all that. These are challenges because I've worked with people.
Okay.
There are challenges. You need somebody who you are not afraid of. You need somebody who wants you better. Someone who will not criticize you, but could tell you this is wrong, but you're getting better. Because most times, the person is already feeling a low self-esteem, doesn't feel good about that matter. So, the person who you want to open up to, the person must be someone who also wants to see you thrive. Then you can do journaling. Journaling.
Yes.
Every day, you're like, okay, what progress I've made? You're taking note of it. As you're taking note of that, you begin to see your progress. That
encourages you.
That even supplies a sense of energy.
Yes.
Because everything is on an energy level. Everything. There is a state that you will be. You cannot masturbate.
Wow.
Yes. You can't. In short, if we're going to go by therapy and all that, when we come to church, one part of what we gain is a supply of energy into ourselves. So you see people who come to church, they're down, they're depressed, they feel not good enough. By the time they're coming out, everybody's excited, coming out feeling, what has happened? Your energy level has changed. So, journaling works. Journaling. Sometimes you can even add gratitude journaling, what you are grateful for a day.
Yes.
You'll be amazed how when you start writing down, your mind can go blank because within you, you will see that you're not really a grateful person. Then you now consciously
Become grateful.
start writing out what you're grateful for. And you need a community.
Very important.
You need a community. If you look, I gave you an instance of somebody who was, because of he got into a community of people who are smoking. So that community only mirrored a part of a bad, it gave him a bad, how do I put it now? A bad impression. So you need a community of people too who have chosen to live right, who have chosen to live without addiction. So I could give you scenarios. I worked at a point as an inventory manager somewhere, and it's in the food hospitality industry. That industry in itself is promiscuous.
Been there.
So it's crazy.
Yes. I know.
When you come in there, everybody's talking about something sexual, something, and You're
It
coming
comes
in
with
there.
the business.
Yes.
It's food, it's
Yeah.
entertainment.
And you're
Comes with
coming in
business.
there. You're like, when you just talk one thing, everybody is feeling, who is this? So at that moment, you want to ask yourself, what you believe, is it true? What you are holding on to, is it strong? You want to be sure that your values, you own it. You own it. So what I did then was that, okay, I don't care what you guys say. This thing you're doing is wrong. So I begin to market my own value. After a while, because I had someone working under me, before you know it, he is seeing how I'm living, how I'm doing my stuff with no fear, with nobody. If you try nonsense with me, maybe a lady you're trying to give me hint, I'll say it out, and because there's nothing to hide. Because once you start, you know the things.
Encouraging it.
When you encourage it, it gets worse.
Those are
So some people will say, okay, masturbation, how do I do that? You already know that when you go into masturbation, thrive in secrecy. You like to be in a place you
Only
cannot, unless you have gone mad, that you will go outside and you're masturbating. Because there are some clients who it has gone beyond. But the people who they're just starting up and they're saying, I don't like this, I want to get out. Most times you notice that you like to be in a space, a secret space. So for you, you cannot afford to stay long
in the secret
in a
space.
secret place.
Yes.
You can't. So you need to now study the things that enhance you
Your addiction.
to get into that addiction. Quite a number of things.
Wow.
Quite a number of things. But I'll stop here for now.
The last one before we leave. I know you've tried to list like the practical steps, but you don't have to dwell on them. Just give us like practical steps that people can use to break free daily, like daily practical steps people can use to break free from addiction. And then again, okay, just go on because I would love to say something at the end.
Okay. The practical steps, number one, you need to be aware. You need to call it out. You need to mention what it is.
Okay.
So you need to seek help.
Hmm.
In seeking help, you're meeting someone who might have gone through that and succeeded.
Yes.
That's one of the best persons that can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly, through that help, you begin to set boundaries. The boundaries come when you've already understood your triggers. When we talked about help, deliverance is part of the help. All right? We talk about help, seeing the therapist is part of the help. Okay? You set boundaries. Now, after all this have been done, you need to own it. Remember, we said this is a claw. It's not something that easily goes.
Let you go.
So, you want to build that, okay? I will exercise my will. Sometimes, every part of your being is interrelated. So you can exercise your will. Maybe now you are used to taking coke. You say, okay, today I'm not going to take coke. You did the first day, second day, third day. What you ended up doing, you're exercising that part of your will. You can now bring it now because you're exercising it. You're making your will know that, yes,
I can do this.
we can do this. You use it now to face maybe that masturbation. The day you did so well, journal. Let there be a reward system. Reward system doesn't mean something big. That, wow, because of I was able to overcome this, I'm going to thank, and maybe I may just watch a movie and all that. Are you getting it? Something, not necessarily, not movies that will trigger you, but you have that thing that can make you feel a reward. That's what I'm trying to say. Then journal, like we said.
Yes.
Journal.
Yes.
Journal. And seek a community. We've talked about affirmations too,
Yes.
confessing that you have an accountability partner, someone is going through with you with that journey.
Yes.
But you see that affirmation, that's
Yeah,
something you want to do for yourself. In affirmation, you are pushing out a mindset you are used to,
Yes.
and giving yourself a
new one.
new worldview. You are insisting that this is who you are. You are insisting that you are in control. I get it. And I always say, anchor it to God's word. most times what people do, they anchor it to themselves or to something, and when that self gets to the breaking point, they lose it.
Wow.
They lose it. Don't forget community. You need a community. You need a community.
Wow.
You need a community. Be happy.
You are good enough.
You are enough.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
I am enough.
enjoy your company.
Yes.
As a person, oh, I enjoy my company. Oh, I make sure I stay high in the spirit. You know, you need to replace
Some things.
you need to replace that addiction with something else.
Something else, yes.
You want to do exercises, you want to join something that gives you purpose. Find your purpose. Find some. You might go get a book, Purpose Driven Life. Take the journey every day. Everything they ask you to do, you're doing it. As I did it, you'll be finding new things about yourself. Then seek God. Why I say seek God is that when I say you should seek God, I'm not saying join church. I'm not saying do all the activities in church. I'm saying you have let God be very real to you. Because until He is, that void, it can't be filled. It can't.
Wow.
You'll be excited. People, like as I'm here, I used to battle approval. I used to battle, are you sure I'll be able to say these things well and all that. I had to start talking to myself, using God's word. And after a while, I did not care. The days I make mistake, I give it a new meaning. I tell myself, I'm work in progress. Oh, I'm excited. I tell myself, do you know how God loves me? God loves Amos, Uchenna, Chinedu. He loves me without reservation. So someone passing by might think I'm running crazy, but I'm psyching myself. I'm giving myself a new view. I help me move freely, irrespective of what anybody thinks. So I think that should serve.
It is already too much. Thank you so much, sir. This topic, I'm so happy we're able to dissect it. Like I said, addiction is not even age based. People are addicted to a lot of, even adults are addicted to Z word, to TV. A lot of addictions, and most times they don't even know that it's an addiction because maybe it doesn't cause like immediate problem to them yet. So nobody thinks it's important to break free from it. Most times, I mean, if you're addicted to something, I'm addicted to this thing and it's not harming me, what is the problem? I leave it now if it's not harming me.
So not all harm is
physical.
very obvious.
Okay.
So someone who is watching Z word, maybe beginning of the year, he has said or she has said that I need to develop this capacity. But if she checks 1 hour or 3 hours, 5 hours every day on Z word, he has consumed almost
all the time to
develop that thing. So that's caused her harm. Ending of the year, she's feeling that, I didn't achieve anything. I feel that, say, God, all the things you promised me, and so not every harm. Sometimes you want to ask people around you to tell you, you see me, what do you think I almost do without thinking, but it's really costing me, it's not going to help me at the long run. People can give you that. You may not be aware of what you're addicted to.
Yeah, true.
You may not be.
True. Wow. Thank you again, sir. Unfortunately, this is where we have to call this episode short. We have to cut this episode short. Hopefully we'll have more time to really talk about this addiction because it's a very, very broad topic. Thank you for being in the studio with us today.
The final thing I would say, please, therapy is important. There are things you cannot solve by yourself. There are things that even the capacity of a pastor may not really solve it. Not because of they don't want to solve it, but they don't have the tools to help you solve that. If indeed you want to be free, beyond just the spiritual aspect, also face the mental aspect, the emotional aspect. It's a whole lot. We are spirit, soul, body, not just only spirit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being in the studio with us. Thank you all for watching this episode. This is a good time to remind you to please share, like, comment on our posts, listen to all our episodes on every streaming platform. We love you. Grow this community with us, and we'll be grateful you did that. From all of us in the studio, we say very big thank you again, and bye bye from here. See you on the next episode.